Yeah. We are on Periscope too, yes, and we are live, Michael. Welcome to episode number 83 of the Section 247 show, a Sports Talk Philly partner, as always. Presented by Michael's Glass Company. You can see it scrolling there on the bottom, 215-338-3293. Tell them that the two mics sent you. I am Michael Lipinski, joined as always by Michael Watkins. Happy Cinco de Mayo, sir. I'm Polish. I don't necessarily celebrate, but it is that.
I know, because I said when we first got on before we went live. Good evening, everybody. It's Cinco de Mayo, so because I have my Cape May, let me turn it the right way, like a pigeon, tan limes, all ready to go. But that's my next beer. I'm talking about the new one that just came out, the Cape May Grove. It's delicious.
It is a good brew there. I did a pack, set a couple aside, and I thought it was fantastic. Reminded me of Five Alive.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Anyone
who
is of a certain age, it still is. I don't know if it's still around. It's citrus juice, and that's what it tastes like.
Mm-hmm.
Cape May Brewing Company with another fantastic set of beers, and goes real nice, not with this one, but with your Section 247 koozies that we're going to be giving out here in the next couple weeks. And we're going to have some things, share the show, that kind of thing on Twitter. Get yourself available. Speaking of Twitter, why don't you tell everybody where we are found on social media?
Yes. So everybody checking in so far tonight, I've seen Brent. Yeah, Brent, my wife cut my hair. She cut my hair, and she actually didn't
check out my shirt.
Hey, look at that. Lizzie, Zach, what's up? Zach, I know you like shandies, man, but this Grove is delicious. I mean, it doesn't even taste like you're drinking beer. But you can find us on the Section 247 show feed. We like that you share it. We always want you to do that. But in order to see your comment that we want to read and we want to see it on the air, you have to be in that Section 247 show feed. And you can find this on Facebook, YouTube. Tonight we're on Twitch as well as YouTube Periscope. So that's where to find us. Send us your comments. Want to see it coming in. And what's up, Will? Drinking a Sly Fox Growler. Oh, I like Sly Fox. That's a good one.
Sly Fox is a good one. That is a good one. Sly Fox had the goat races. I guess they're not doing the goat races this year because they, the whole pandemic kind of.
Well, before speaking of this pandemic shit, which I'm starting to go out of my mind here. Tonight I went to go pick up my dinner, and I got stuck behind a birthday parade. Now your kids are as old probably for these birthday parades.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts behind these birthday parades before I give my opinion?
So I get it. I've participated in them. We may have one coming up for my kid. I have no problem if it's friends, family, that kind of thing. Where I do run into an issue is when you start getting fire departments, police departments, and all that stuff kind of involved. Because look, they have things to do. Their job is not necessarily to go out there and go in your parade. And if they can, great. Some of the fun things I've done in my fire life, I'm not now, as you see, I'm not an FPA compliant, was parade kind of stuff. It's fun. But that's if there's time. If there's a dude wrapped around a tree because he was wearing his mask for a day and he lost, consciousness because, you're driving with a mask on when you shouldn't be, they have to go do that. So people have been taking to social media to bitch and complain about fire departments not being involved. Look, I think it's cool. It's fine. I saw a weird one through my neighborhood yesterday, which was a funeral procession through the neighborhood. And I mean, it happens, right? But I guess they were going past someone's house.
Went through Brooklyn.
Yeah, and it was just long, and I'm like, wow, it just caught me off guard, I guess. Not used to something like that.
So, and I see some of the comments in here that my wife was almost ran over. I'm not sure about that. I'm not going to fact check that one. Might have been me driving the car. Your sister Erin had a birthday parade for her birthdays a couple weeks ago. It looked like a goddamn parade.
She had a birthday parade. She's 30 years old.
Yeah. Well, hey, look, I mean, she's a kid at heart. Rena Amato loves birthday parades. Not surprised by that comment either. So we'll go back a little bit. The cops, as far as fire engines, there's actually a few police officers that live on my street. They actually did a birthday parade last week because there's a cluster of them that live in the same area. Whatever. They want to do that on their own time. They can. These are dumb. I'm sure your kids will be fine not having a birthday party one year. The fact that they line up these cars with balloons in them to drive by and honk is just ridiculous to me.
Yeah, see, now I think more so hey, we're going to swing by, kind of like this is what we did over the weekend. We pulled up at the end of the driveway. Everyone was kind of sitting out. And we said, hey, what's going on? Do you believe this? I can't believe we're sitting here in our car saying happy birthday as opposed to, actually having a birthday party. It wasn't a full-fledged drive-by wave kind of thing.
Yeah, see, that's what most of these, because I've seen them because they literally line up around my development and usually take up the whole development as they go by the one. And I might be grumpy. I'm a grumpy old man, according to Aaron and according to Lizzie. Kyle's never heard of it. I'm sorry they haven't gotten that far west. Have cars gotten to your part of the Midwest, Kyle?
It's a Midwest. It's an East Coast thing, Kyle. Don't worry about it. And you better hope they don't come to you.
Yeah. I mean, the first responder one's doing it for the nurses and all that, and no problem with as well. But hey, look, I mean, is this 3-year-old really going to remember the cars that drove by in the year 2020 for COVID-19? I don't think so.
It's more for the
sacrifice a year. What is it for the parents? Are you going to say it's for the parents so they can see other parents?
It's for the parents so that
problems.
It's for the parents so that they can put it on Facebook and say, look, I had a big parade. My parade was bigger than yours, that kind of thing. Oh, it would kind of be like back in our day. Maybe you would have you'd have a party one year at Burger King when they used to have the play place thing. Yeah. Then you would have to upgrade. Someone else would go to Playdrome, then someone would go to Laurel Lanes, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, people definitely hated you, Aaron. Yeah, no doubt about it. I'm sorry if my kid was a little bit older. I know he's only 1. And they're like, oh, we're going to do a birthday parade. I'd say, no, thank you. Save your gas. Send him a text message.
If this is bad in September, we're going to be doing one for my birthday as well. But that'll be me just sitting outside drinking a beer.
By yourself.
By myself. Rundown of the show here. Now that we got this out of the way. We were going to do bests and worst number 83s in Philly sports, but there wasn't really a lot of them. Vince Papale, Greg Lewis. We can move on from that. We're going to do a little bit of a pick 3 challenge, Michael. This is a thing that you love during quarantine time. This is one of those pictures that comes up on social media. It says you can only pick 3. So
I haven't seen it in a while.
I'm surprising you with that. We're going to do a This Week in Philly Sports History. We are going to talk Quarantine Olympics. And you have a beer review. And then we're going to get into kind of some of the sports news that's going on now. Kenny chimes in. Every kid is asking for a parade now. Listen, parades were meant for victories, victory in war, victory in sports, not for a birthday. I put on my social media and I was getting a little bit of heat for it. Up until about, I guess now 45 minutes ago, I had never heard, other than the last out, one single moment of Game 5 of the 2008 World Series.
I heard the very beginning. I saw this tweet before we started. I've heard the very beginning of the game, the introduction, and the Game 2, the second part of it. But and the final out. But you're right. I've never heard the in between.
I've never heard anything in between. Someone was like, someone said, hey, you weren't there. I was like, you didn't see it? How you call yourself a fan? I said, no, I was there. That's why I didn't see it.
Well, even if you were there, I mean, unless you were listening to the radio broadcast,
which I do. My wife hates it when I bust out my transistor radio like an 85-year-old man.
Sorry, I'm tapping on this can, but this is the one I dropped when I was showing you what I was drinking tonight.
So. And put the one earpiece in. People are chiming in. Everyone gets a parade. Parades are the new trophies.
That's exactly what they are. And I hate the participation trophy. That's just like I hate the birthday parade. Call me Oscar the Grouch. Watched enough of him over the past couple of days.
I like Oscar the Grouch.
I have no problem with Oscar Grouch. He's my boy.
None whatsoever. All right, let's jump into this one, okay? All right, we're going to move on to the Pick 3 challenge. Can you see that on your screen?
I can.
That is French fries. So we're going to do the pick 3 challenge for French fries. I saw this one. I figured this was good. You can only pick 3, and we're going to work our way from the top over. I got to find it now. Here we go. All right. So number 1, Burger King. I'm going to read them out, and then we'll discuss. Number 1, Burger King. Number 2, Wendy's. Number 3, Five Guys. Number 4 is Checkers and Rallies. Number 5 is Shake Shack. I believe that's Shake Shack. Yep.
Yeah, Shake Shack.
Number 6 is Chick-fil-A. Number 7 is McDonald's. Number 8 is Arby's. What do you got here?
Can you go first? Because I'm still I picked 1. I need 2 more.
Yeah. All right. So this one's easy for me. On the French fries, I'm going right on the bottom row. 6, 7, 8. The waffle, the McDonald's, the curly fry. I feel like the curly fry is completely underrated and often forgotten. When you have a really good Chick-fil-A fry, it is fantastic. Fresh McDonald's fries, the absolute best.
So, okay. We've seen some come in. Nicole, Five Guys, Checkers, Burger King. Lizzie, Chick-fil-A, Arby's, McDonald's. Kyle, McDonald's best fries, not even a debate. Aaron, 3, 6, and 7. So that was Five Guys, McDonald's, and Arby's. Or is that right? Yeah. So, all right. McDonald's, no doubt. Kyle's right. They are the best fries. Five Guys is another one for me. So it's at 3, 6. And this is where it gets tough. This is where I have to debate it. What was
a lot of love for Five Guys here.
Yeah, I love Five because you know what? It's just that I guess it's the oil, the peanut oil they do it in is just phenomenal. I love Arby's and I love Checkers, man. That's where I'm coming down to.
See, now that's interesting because Checkers, I can't say that I've had Checkers fries before, but to me that's always like a Southern thing.
Here's the thing with Checkers, and there's Checkers around us, dude. You know that? There's a few. Yeah. There's not many. There's a couple around us. Checkers sells their fries in the stores, in the grocery stores, in the frozen food section. So, oh, man. You know what? I'm going to go Arby's. I'm going to go Arby's as the last choice. So 3, 6, and 7 for me.
I agree with you. We're gonna get some people up here who'll be talking. It runs it. Brent chimes in with something out of the Midwest. That's a Nebraska thing.
I've never heard of that.
No, I've never heard of it either. I'm sure it's good though. I bet it's good, but it's out in the Midwest.
You guys have Brent? Do you have Rallies? Because that's the other counterpart to Checkers.
Was Hardee's the same as Checkers or no?
No, Hardee's was the same as God. What was Hardee's the same as Carl Jr.
Oh, okay, right. So yeah. Then, look, I'm going right across the bottom. 6, 7.
But in like Wendy's was what, number 2? Is that Wendy's number 2? So Wendy's, they're great, but I need the Frosty. I need the Frosty to dip them in. My wife is saying Arby's, what in the world? No, I mean, curly fry, you got to have something different. We talked about this. We actually me and her had a fry debate the other night.
I agree with Will. The bottom row is great because it's different fries.
All for your different.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a problem because you actually said it with the Chick-fil-A. You said when you get a good Chick-fil-A fry. Yeah, because there's a lot of bad ones in that box.
If you get a bad batch,
they're out for me.
Yeah, if you get a bad batch, it's bad. So in that case, if they're bad, all right, let's say that Chick-fil-A is not as consistent as it always needs to be. I could throw the Five Guys in. Five Guys, McDonald's, Arby's.
I'm laughing at Brent's comment. Come on down by the farm. And Popeyes wasn't one of the choices, Nicole.
No. Take it to a runza. I feel like that's something I'm going to be doing with a cow in the middle of a field in Nebraska.
You can tip it over, then you runs out.
I don't know if it's anything like that.
Will's wife is on my page with the Wendy's fries with the Frosties. Without the Frosty, the Wendy's fry really doesn't hold water to me.
Wendy's fries used to be very good. And then they changed the setup. They changed the way they were making them. I don't know, making them more healthier or whatever it was. And I think they went downhill.
Well, that's what McDonald's did. McDonald's took out the trans fat for a little while, and they're like, screw this. They suck now. Let's add it back in.
It's still good. And people forget about the curly fry. That's why I had to pick it. The curly fry is unbelievable, no matter where you get it.
Mm-hmm. It is. I mean, what do you think the worst fry on there is?
Worst fry on that list. I'm going to have to go Burger King.
Yes, Burger King.
Burger King's very bad. Shake Shack is okay. Again, It's a
They
hit
don't
and
give you
miss.
enough of them.
Yeah, they don't. You have to order 2, and they're like $5. If I'm going to do my bottom 3 on that list, it's going to be Burger King, Checkers, Shake Shack.
I would probably, yeah, I'd probably put Chick-fil-A in there instead of Checkers.
Elizabeth chimes in. Burger King is good if they are fresh. I don't know. Again,
Why don't curly fries have any business? I mean, it's the same thing as it's a seasoned fry, but
yeah, curly fry. Go to the boardwalk in Ocean City, right near the miniature golf course. Curly fries, they're fantastic. People buy buckets of them all the time when they're not in quarantine.
I buy buckets of the curl of. Well, no. Are you saying Curly's fries, the brand Curly's fries?
Yeah, but they're curly. Isn't they have the curly?
No, they're not. They're like a crinkle cut steak fry type.
No,
of
that's
deal.
not the one I'm talking about then, because you can get curly. You can get curly fries at Curly's.
Does Curly's sell curly fries?
I thought they did.
I don't know. I always got the regular fries with the vinegar on the side and just went to town.
You can't go vinegar. You can't go vinegar.
I go vinegar with the Five Guys ones. I put the malted vinegar in with the ketchup and stir it up with the fry and eat it up like I do with my Wendy's fries and Frosty.
Erin says she wishes potato skins were an option. And look, I wish potato skins were an option too, but you got a bunch of idiots on this thing that think gyros sucks, and we're not going to have that debate anymore. So
it's not that potato skins are the only thing that's good at gyros. It's
the best thing.
Is gyros even still there?
I don't know. I haven't ventured up that way. I'm not allowed to leave the state of New Jersey, remember?
The best fries in the world, Will says, are in Thrasher's Fries in Ocean City, Maryland. You know, unfortunately, when it came to Ocean City, Maryland, I never got past Secrets or Mackey's, other than the golf course. So I wouldn't know.
Kenny chimes in. Curly's is the best. Kenny, Curly's. They have curly fries there. I've gotten curly fries on the boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey, right? Was it from Curly's? I'd assume it was. If not, this whole thing makes no sense.
My wife's comment: Watkins eats fries after burger. Who does that? I eat one thing at a time.
I do the same thing.
Yeah,
I have the burger, then I have the fries. And you know,
Brent's calling me a weirdo.
What's wrong with that?
I know. I don't see anything wrong with that. I like one thing at a time. I like to enjoy one thing at a time. You know, I don't want to combine anything. Let's everything have its time on the plate.
What do you want it to be, a Permanente sandwich from Pittsburgh where they just throw a bunch of shit onto it?
I don't care if it mixes, you know, I mean, but I like one thing at a time.
I agree with you. And I'm a burger before a fry guy too. So don't worry about that.
Yeah.
That probably comes back to like a grade school kind of deal.
I guess so. Go back to the old hot lunch days.
Yeah. Anybody that you would put on this list that's not on there, we're thinking majors. We're thinking majors. I don't know I can't put Runzas. I don't know what it is, but now I'm sure I'll go down a Wikipedia rabbit hole with that.
I agree with my wife for once and say that Popeyes should be on there. How about you?
I've never had a Popeyes French fry. I'm going to go Roy Rogers.
Oh yeah.
When you get a good Roy Rogers,
Fuddruckers too had good fries.
Yeah. Brent chimes in. What's wrong with y'all? It's a loaded question, sir, and you'll find out even more on Thursday night. All right. Aaron chimes in. Chickies.
Chickies is a basic crinkle cut fry.
Chickies French fries are good, but you have to eat there, and not everybody loves Chickies and Pete's. I don't know that I've ever had a Popeyes French fry, to be honest with you.
It's basically a seasoned fry with a little bit of Cajun spice to it, just like what Checkers would be.
Okay.
But just a little spice to it.
So if it's anything like the burger, it's going to be overrated.
No, you mean the chicken sandwich.
That's what I meant. Sorry.
The chicken sandwich, I will say, is not as... I would take a Popeye's chicken sandwich over a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich right now.
No, you're completely wrong. And we'll get to... Well, maybe I'll do the chicken sandwich next week. Roy Rogers are only on the Turnpike right now. Well, there's one... Watkins talk while I Google this.
Oh, he's talking about. So I agree with you on that one. Well, I've only seen him on the Turnpike right now and the Atlantic City Expressway. So I don't know where the one is that he's trying to find.
There was one that was like Route 130 somewhere. Hold on a second. Keep going.
I'm reading the comments. Brent's talking about it. He can't wait for you to come on. Yeah, Brent. it's not going to be as good as talented as was I this past weekend.
It's going to be even better.
Zach says, nope, Chick-fil-A before Popeyes. I mean, Popeyes is just, it seems fresher to me right now. The only thing that I would say that I like over Chick-fil-A over Popeyes is maybe the bread, how they have their roll is buttered, whereas Popeyes isn't like that. But you're making fun of the way I say Popeyes. Thank you. I appreciate it. Real nice.
It is kind
Did
of.
You find that yet?
Popeye. Yeah. So Roy Rogers. There used to be one on Route 130, but it's not there anymore. So it's only Turnpike. Will chimes in. Yeah, I do remember the one.
Yeah,
that used to be
right around where we used to live.
Yeah, and that man, best barbecue sauce too.
Oh yeah,
best barbecue sauce. If someone could bottle barbecue sauce for me, I'd say Chick-fil-A and
the pickle bar. The pickle bar was the best too.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Liz, let's see. Chick-fil-A before Popeyes, I agree with Zach. Hot chicken, we're talking Hattie B's. I have no idea what Hattie B's is.
I don't know either.
How much tequila is Doc having before? Look, I'm coming in with a clear mind on this show. I have to be willing to shred Bret Hart and his shitty legacy. All right. For those of you who have no idea what we're talking about, and like this has nothing to do with the pick three. Michael Watkins was on a work in progress wrestling podcast that dropped. I think I saw it drop yesterday. I'm going to listen to it probably Thursday because I can't listen to it with kids around. He was going over the 1991 Royal Rumble. I will be on a work in progress wrestling podcast recording on Thursday night with friend of the show, Derek Perry. And we're going to fight some shit out here about Bret Hart and In Your House kind of stuff.
That sounds so much fun.
It does sound like fun. So you should check them out, a work in progress.
Yes. Good show. We had a lot of fun. My face hurt from laughing so much. I do this show, whatever show it is, I always do it in my mom's basement or my basement, whatever you want to call it. But my wife could hear me all the way up in the bedroom. That's how loud I was laughing. So it was a great time. We had fun, a lot of jokes, a lot of laugh. Did a Kermit Frog impersonation. It's all right in the world.
Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Let's move on from this pick three challenge. All right. And we're going to go to, not the Week in Philly Sports. Sorry. This week on the show, we're going to talk about your beer review. So why don't we get to it? You want to talk about your beers?
Did we already do that?
Well, you got to really go into it, though. You got to go into it a little bit
so
more.
The Grove. And I actually wrote Cape May beer this morning. I don't really like fruity beers. I don't like shandies. I like IPAs. I like Pilsners. I like the regular beers. I tried the Bog last year. Their cranberry one. It was great. It was delicious. They made a slushy out of it. If you went to the brewery, my wife and I liked it, but it still had that beer taste in it, which my wife brought up. To me, I don't really taste it as much. Went looking for it this weekend. I bought 12. I wound up drinking 8 on Sunday on top of the 3 tan lines I had as well. I thought I was drinking 5 Alive, just like you said, the whole time. Little did I know that I almost drank the whole 12 pack. Now I have to go looking for more. I hope this beer stays around through the whole summer. It's probably all I drink. I'll drink next to tan lines. So very good beer. I'm ready to burp it up right now. But delicious. Told Cape May that. He said, great. It's going to be around for the foreseeable future until they run out.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that's going to be.
I hope they make a slushy out of it, though. I did say, I was like, you need to make a slushy out of it when we can all come back to the brewery and enjoy it.
So that's your big thing down there is the slushy.
The slushy.
I've never partaken. Have you seen people making these slushies out of what do you call it? The claw things that people drink.
The White Claws.
That's it. I don't drink that stuff.
I don't drink it either. I just drink it because I need room to make room for more beer in my refrigerator. And I need to get rid of it. But no, they have the slushy machine. I would love to get one of those for my house.
It's called a blender.
No, you need to get the slushy one where it's constantly turning it and keeping it at the cold temperature. So you just go and you pull it down and just like coming out in the glass and you just drink it. It's delicious.
So you want like an actual snow cone?
I want a slushy machine. Not a snow cone. I don't want a snow cone. I want a slushy machine.
So here's the thing. We've tried this multiple times down the shore, getting lemon water ice, putting stuff in it. It just never really works very well.
No.
Do you think it would work well with the slushy machine?
It did when I had it at Cape May Brewery.
I guess so.
It worked great. No, but you are right, though. When you go to add like vodka to lemon water ice, it never really tastes right. I agree.
But what anything else coming out that you've tried?
I've tried basically everything that Double Nickel has been putting out recently. Double Nickel is another good one as far as their IPAs. I've had the 420 Dank Kush. I've had, what was the one I had last week? I had the Laser, which another IPA, and then there was one more. I can't remember what it was. That was Dino Nugs. That was another good one too.
Yeah, what is that one?
Dino Nugs is another IPA. It's another 7%er. Has a nice little fruity touch to it. Another good beer for the summer, but with Double Nickel, they make such short supply. They sell out during pre-order. They've sold out a lot of their beers during pre-order, so they're harder to get the second time around. Zach says he tried 11 C's. I tried that too. It's not as good by itself as it is when it's paired with food. Like I had it with steak. That was great.
All right.
That's my beer review for today.
That's your beer review. Let's move on. Pick 3 challenge. Anybody else have anything to add to that or no?
What was that? I'm sorry.
Anybody have any more French fries to add to the pick 3 challenge?
I don't think so. I think they're basically all in there, right?
I think we're good. I think we're good on that front. Let's talk quarantine Olympics. Michael, have you heard of the quarantine Olympics? Do you know what I'm even talking about?
I have no clue what you're talking about. One thing I have not given into in this quarantine has been TikTok. So I have no idea what you're talking about.
So on TikTok, there is a family that is getting millions of views doing stupid, lack of better terms, stupid shit. A couple of things I saw is they had a poll and they were trying to get toilet paper on it, goofy stuff to keep themselves occupied during the quarantine. And they have, like I said, millions and millions of followers on TikTok.
I see stuff like that all the time where these have millions of views, and it's like, it's so dumb that why couldn't I think of that? Right. Why couldn't I think of that to get millions of views? Don't you feel that way? It's like,
I do.
How did my stupid ass brain that's been hit more times than anything not think of something dumb to have millions of views and millions of followers do it?
I agree with you. It's something that I wish I would have come up with. I want to ask you, what if you were to have your own quarantine Olympics? It does not necessarily involve drinking, but what kind of games would you put in on there? Would you put in there?
I would want to almost like a Jackass style ski jump where you go down the roof and you wind up in a pool.
Okay, I like that one. Oh, while we're at it, we should race shopping carts over curbs. That was always a good one.
Oh, that just looked painful.
You never did that? You never partook in that?
I never did that, man. Well, First of all, my big ass wasn't fitting in the shopping cart. I might have been able to push the shopping cart, but my ass wasn't fitting in it. So that's why it never really happened. I never really did any stupid stuff. I don't know. I mean, so that was like, after I did it, like that was dumb. I think my son in 14 months has done more dumb stuff to be daring than I would have. Like he's jumping off the couch. Like I wouldn't be able to do that.
Well, that's children.
Can't do it now. I get hurt.
Yeah, I can barely get up off the couch.
I lift 2 bags of mulch. I throw out my back for a week. I mean,
I like that. I like the roof jump. I would probably do some kind of wrestling related thing, like through a flaming table kind of deal. That would be fun.
Yeah. Street luge on skateboards. Yeah, that's not
a good
bad.
one. Yeah.
It looks like your sisters have done the virtual Olympics.
I have no idea. They just
don't want to include you.
That's fine. That's a lot of information there. Duh, they've done it. I don't know what they've done, but they've done something. Clearly not enough to get people talking about it.
Well, it seems like it's only 2 of them too. They left out a sister. They left out 2 sisters.
I would throw in a drunk game of horse if we have to have alcohol involved.
Drunk game of horse. Yeah.
What was the game where you used to stand against the wall and get pegged with the ball?
Oh, suicide.
Suicide. That's got to be in there. It has to be in there. At
Yeah.
our age now, that would be fantastic.
Did you ever have to stand against the wall and have your ass get
Oh, I'm
shellacked?
yeah, of course I have. Who hasn't? Anyone that's played that game has. I mean, it is what it is.
What I would do is if it was almost getting time to me, I would figure out how to diffuse this game somehow and make it seem like it was dumb to play and move on to something else.
Yeah, that sounds about right for you. That was the way you always.
I wasn't taking shots against the wall. Hell no. Zach wants to play Dizzy Bat. That's a good one.
Dizzy Bat is a good one. I would have to do a good home run derby kind of deal. Find a spot to do it, whether it be, I guess, wiffle ball home run derby, kind of one of those deals, bouncing them off your neighbor's yards, that kind of thing.
They actually I have a nice sized field in the back of my house, and every day they bring out, dads and kids bring out a nice hitting net, and I play like a home run derby. I wish I could be able to do that right now.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that far yet, but I mean, look, it's funny what these people are doing.
People are getting creative. I mean, after 6 weeks, is this 6 weeks or 7 weeks?
I don't know. It's not. It's way too long.
It's way too long. I mean, I think you have no choice but to be creative and think of something. I mean, look, we're doing birthday parades. Come on,
man. That birthday parade really has you pissed off, huh?
Oh, you know what? Because I got stuck behind it, man. Like, come on. Like, seriously. Like a funeral procession, you get stuck behind it or around it, and you're like, all right, well, what are you going to do? But a birthday parade? Come on. Grow up, kids. This is where you learn how to become men and women. Birthday parade.
You got to learn from your mistakes and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. You should think about what you did the past year and improve on it for the next year. And maybe next year you'll get a party.
Exactly. I agree with you. All right, let's move on. We're bringing back This Week in Philly Sports because I think there's some stuff on here that people have forgotten about that we just need to discuss.
Oh, wait, hold the phone. Zach has a good one over here. Check it in on Facebook. He has 2 alcoholic neighbors that live 2 houses apart. They chip golf balls over the yard in the middle of baby pools in their yards. That sounds awesome. I want to know where they live. I want to join them. That sounds great.
See, I would end up bashing it off my face, but off of my house too, and it would just want to go well.
The short game is I'm good with. No jokes. I can do 100 yards in. I was doing it yesterday. I must have hit 100 golf balls 100 yards just in front of a white bucket. It's the driving part that I can't get used to in golf. After 10 years I've been playing it.
Yeah, that's my problem too.
Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
All right, so we're bringing it back This Week in Philadelphia Sports, a trip down memory lane. Interrupt me wherever you feel free, but we'll start 1906, Michael. The Philadelphia A's pitcher, Chief Bender, plays in the outfield and hits 2 home runs. Philadelphia Athletics, still by far Philadelphia's best baseball team that people don't talk about.
Not going to interrupt you there.
1919, the first legal Sunday baseball game in New York City. 35,000 people watched the Philadelphia Phillies defeat the New York baseball Giants 4-3. 1922, the Philadelphia Phillies are no hit by New York Giants pitcher Jesse Barnes. Pisser too, and a pitcher, Jesse Barnes. 1925, the Philadelphia Phillies have had 8 consecutive games postponed due to weather. Technically speaking, are all these games postponed? I mean, we might break that record.
Yeah.
1938, Phillies pitcher Harold Kelleher faces 16 batters, in the 6th inning, allows 12 runs to the Cubs, both National League records. 1973, the longest baseball game in history of Veterans Stadium, inning-wise, 20 innings to see the Phillies defeat the Braves 4-3. 1980, the Dodgers bat out of order in the first inning against the Philadelphia Phillies. 1986, Gary Maddox retires. 1991, Phillies center fielder Lenny Dykstra wraps his car around a tree. Do you remember that?
I remember that vividly.
And
they were hammered, both him and Dalton.
It was him, Dalton. Was Kruk involved in that, or
No,
someone
he
else?
wasn't involved in it. He was with them in the clubhouse before they left. This all happened. This didn't happen at a bar. This happened in the Phillies clubhouse, and they left completely buckled, and then Lenny buckled his car around the tree. And I can't remember. It was Lenny Dykstra that told the story about that, how they walked in and the cops just let them go.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even do anything about it. That happens nowadays. They're in jail.
And if I remember correctly, Dykstra and Dalton were actually off to a fairly decent start. A month through the year, 1991, they were off to a very good start. And there's people that believe that team could have done things.
Yeah,
I'd have to go back and really look at it,
and that was it. Those two guys were not the same after that until they started using steroids.
Right? Yeah, until they start on the juice.
Yeah. Lenny Dykstra, follower of our show.
Lenny Dykstra, a follower of the show. That is correct. 2000, 5 overtimes. Keith Primo buries the Pittsburgh Penguins. Where were you when that occurred? Were you watching it?
I was a freshman in college, and I lived on the first floor. It was a beautiful day, and my window faced a volleyball court, which everybody would congregate around when it was nice out. They would take couches out of their dorm rooms and put them there, and that was the game. I had a bathroom in my dorm room at the time because I have Crohn's disease, so they gave me a bathroom for special needs. So thank you. How you doing? What we did was we filled the bathtub with ice, put beer in it, and we took the screens out of our windows and we made it a watch room where people could walk in and out of the window. So you didn't have to walk in and out of the dorm, grab a beer, watch the game, walk out to the volleyball court, have a good time. And by the time the fifth overtime came, there was only 4 of us left in the room, and we watched it. And I'll never forget this one guy, his name was Ben. He would watch the whole game, didn't leave my room, just watched the whole game, only got up to go get a beer. He went to the bathroom.
Oh, no.
Keith Primo scored the goal. I thought he was going to cry.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I thought he was going to cry. And we were joking. He's like, oh, I really got to go to the bathroom. Really got to go. And when you get into overtime and playoffs in the NHL, and I think even this is all sports, there's no more commercials. So there's no commercial breaks until the end of the period.
Right. You just go.
So we had to go. He went, and we were all kidding, oh, they're going to score while you're in there. Lo and behold, Keith Primo, wrist shot, done.
I remember it happening and just being like, thank God it's over. Because you were just right on the edge of your seat, kind of thing. It was
a long game.
It was a long game. It was enjoyable looking back on it, but at the time, I don't know how enjoyable it actually was.
I had fun. We had a great day that day. It was just a fun day. That's one of the days I remember in college the most, my freshman year anyway. In
2004, this week in 2004, the Flyers had another send them home kind of Toronto. I didn't realize that was 2004. I still remember that. It's one of the greatest things because Kapanen gets absolutely destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And if anyone remembers, Sammy Kapanen gets crushed and is literally crawling off of the ice. And I remember the TV broadcast, I remember it vividly. You're kind of watching him claw his way over, and they pull him onto the bench. And just as he kind of gets onto the bench, Rowan comes in, scores. What was that? That was game 6 to send him
it was game 6
to send him to the Eastern Conference Final in 2004. Was that when they lost to the Devils, right?
Yeah, it's when they lost to the Devils. I think one of the cool things with that is Roenick, after he scores a goal, he's jumping up and down on the boards, and there's a still picture to this day that he autographs, and it's a little kid in the background crying his eyes out in a Toronto Maple Leafs jersey. That was great.
Is that the picture with the kid crying, but you see him running?
Yep.
Yeah, great.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the all-time. That one I really remember because I just remember Kapanen I thought he died. I thought he got killed.
Yeah, that was a brutal hit. And he came back. He played.
Of course he did, because that's how hockey players are.
That's a hockey player, man.
That's it for this week in Philly sports. I guess we should be remiss. It occurred last week, but after we recorded, it was the Osama bin Laden game where Phillies Mets, and I was actually at that game. I remember this occurring. There was a tweet that came out. This is the infancy of Twitter, that the president was going to make an announcement, and it was this weird vibe. I remember I was jacking with, jaw jacking with a couple Mets fans next to me.
Jacking?
Yeah, and I remember saying to the guy, I'm like, "Yo, hold on a second, take a look at this," and completely changed that whole environment, that game.
Yeah, I was actually watching that game. It was a Monday night, I believe. So Monday Night Raw. I was flipping between Monday Night Raw and the Phillies game.
Yeah, night game. Yep.
And you could hear it as it picked up the USA chants throughout the game until finally it was announced. I think it was like the late in the game, it was like 7th or 8th inning before they announced it that he was officially killed. So yeah, that was a good one too. Yeah, that was last week, but oh well, we're close enough. There was a comment that came by that we need to talk about, that Nick Cage is going to be picked to play Joe Exotic in a TV movie.
I have no idea what you guys are even talking about.
You have to watch The Tiger King in order to know, man. So, I mean, I don't know how that guy finds work. He's going to play Joe Exotic. He's perfect to play because he's a nutcase in real life, but it's a TV movie. Let's face it.
Can he just bring back the National Treasure?
I thought he was good in Face Off.
Yeah, that was old though, but National Treasure was a great set of movies. And
Gone in 60 Seconds, he kind of ruined that one too.
Let's go around the world of sports, Michael. Korean Baseball Organization, ESPN, and the Korean Baseball Organization struck a deal at 1 a.m. Eastern time this morning. We're recording on Tuesday. We're live. The Doosan Tigers and I don't know, somebody. They played. Did you watch any of it?
I didn't watch any of it. I did hear that it was delayed. The start of it was delayed for rain. Yeah. So, I mean, that's only fitting in order to get some live sports in here. I heard that there was a home run to end it with a bat flip, which is like a persona non grata in Asian baseball. Did you hear that one?
No, but if no one is there to see it happen, does it actually occur?
Please tell me. There's highlights of it. I didn't watch the highlight of it. I saw big home run leads to big bat flip.
Please tell me it was Aaron Altair that hit the home run and did the bat flip.
No, it wasn't him. He probably struck out 3 times.
Are you going to? Yeah, he definitely did. Are you going to check in on this? I wish I could watch it live. I can't find a reason to be up at 1 a.m. To be watching the Korean Baseball Organization. I wish they would replay it. Maybe they do, and I just didn't catch it.
So, I mean, I have my sleeping issues sometimes at night. So if I am up and there's nothing on, there's no movies I would like to watch, who knows? I might put it on, but I would say no. I mean, look, I saw that big home run leads to the big bat flip today, and I just went scroll up. Don't care. Was
that on
ESPN.com?
Oh, okay. I didn't even know they still.
You know what I clicked on instead of looking at that highlight film? The top 74 jerseys in the NBA. That's what I clicked on instead of watching a 2-minute highlight
of all time.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I'm going to take a look at that. We can discuss that one.
I could tell you right now. It's all Denver Nuggets. It's a lot of Sixers on there. And Milwaukee Bucks. There's a lot of them. And then when you get to the top 4, it's your main teams.
So you get the Bulls in there. Are they top 4? All right.
So I'll tell you.
Bulls,
top 3.
Knicks, Lakers. Bulls, Knicks, Lakers.
Knicks are lower. The Lakers were number 1 for the gold.
Okay.
The Celtics were number 2 with the green, and the Bulls were number 3 with the red. And then it was the Denver Nuggets at number 4
with the stripe.
Yeah, the rainbow skyline one.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I clicked on instead of watching a baseball highlight. That's goes to show you how much I can care about Korean baseball.
Well, good news for you is it sounds like Major League Baseball is getting ready to make a return. Rumors are kicking around. Joe Girardi was on WIP today that they're looking at a June 10th-ish return to quote-unquote spring training, which will be at their home ballparks with a July 1 start of play. I got to tell you, it sounds like it's pretty far along. It sounds like the Players Association has to okay it, but I have a feeling that this is going to happen.
I agree with you on that one. I think that it's definitely going to be one. I think once they get past of getting all the players into one spot, since they're all over the country, or perhaps not even in this continent right now, I think once they solve all that problems, they'll get them all in there. And I think that is very logical for spring training part 2.
The NBA is looking to follow up kind of a similar path in the next couple of days, opening up some of the facilities. Again, it sounds there's the health, obviously, but it seems like there's some issues with international play, where if you have teams in Canada wants a 14-day quarantine, and they're working with the organizations, various players' organizations and sports, to see if that can be bypassed. I have a feeling that's what's holding up the NHL as well.
Yes, it's actually holding up the NHL. The NHL, though, I will say, and the NBA is doing this too, is that they're starting their ticket refunds as far as for the remaining regular season home games. The NHL is trying to move up their draft to the beginning of June, using a percentage point system of how the team was trending to see where they would pick in the draft, which the Players Association doesn't really like right now, because you could possibly get a team, or they actually want to do a playoff system where all the teams make it, where you can get a team that could be the first pick. It could be the.
What do you mean?
So there's
like a one game tournament for the Stanley Cup
until you get deeper into the playoffs.
Okay, interesting.
So there is and the reason why they're kicking that out is because it's quite possible that the team that could win the Stanley Cup could win the draft lottery if they do it on June 5th, especially if the season goes into August or September.
Why can't the NHL just wait? Basketball has postponed it. Just push back the entry draft date.
Well, I think the reason is because you have the NHL picks from leagues all over the world,
right?
Where seasons start at all different times. Like the KHL in Russia starts their training camp July 5th. So that's when they start, because their season starts in September or August.
So can you make those guys for a 1 year? Can you make them a free agent, or would that just throw the whole thing? Would that be complete chaos? So
you have to get permission from the teams, like the KHL or the Swedish Hockey League, where you might have a prospect in the first round. We saw there was a player that played in the KHL that was given his outright release so he can sign in the NHL, which was Mikko Lehtonen, and he signed with the Maple Leafs today. So that's one of the things, and that's why they want to. I don't know why they just can't get the draft at the end of June, like it always is, because if you do wind up playing again, you still have your seedings because the playoffs were already started. You might not know who your top 16 teams are at the bottom of the draft, but at least you know your first 15. So. But, the NHL is just trying to do whatever they can, because right now they're trending to lose $1 billion if they don't finish the season at all.
Yeah, there's a lot of money tied up into this thing, which is why they're looking to move forward. Yeah. Talking about a lot of money tied up into something and moving forward, the National Football League is going to be announcing their schedules coming up on Thursday night at 8 p.m. A 3-hour special. Man, do they know how to milk the hell out of some stuff. Are you going to watch the 3-hour schedule release show?
No, on Thursday night. I haven't hard enough time watching live PD for now that it's 2 hours, let alone watching the NFL for 3 hours. And look, they're smart. They're doing everything they can because they're going to be watched. Look, the draft ratings were through the roof. It wasn't even a draft where everybody was sitting at home. I mean, it was the only game in town, just like wrestling has really taken everything. Why not? But 3 hours is ridiculous. But I mean, look, the NFL has canceled all their international games this year, both to Mexico and London.
Good.
So everybody's going to be playing in the States, which whoever had the London game, you lucky sons of bitches. Well, I'm not talking about the Jaguars.
Yeah. So, look, I agree with them doing that from a safety perspective. But obviously, as a fan, I think it's the way it should be anyway. I'm a little bit old school.
I do like the 10 a.m. game, though. That is pretty cool.
It is interesting. You get
a little taste of what California goes through.
Yeah, it's interesting to live like a West Coast guy. Zach chimes in. That's why college football will be played this year. We're talking about the dollars. It's going to be interesting what happens with college football. In the southern states, SEC and the Big 12 have already come out and essentially said, we're playing. We're going to play. They want to have people there. And I fully believe that that's going to occur. Big 10, everybody else is kind of looking at this from they're slowing it down a little bit. And probably a 10-game season is what I had read today. More regional-based games. So that's going to be interesting. But again, it's tied into money. They can't break the TV deals. They'll play.
I really think come July, come July, we are all back to normal, probably functioning as a country at 90%.
I hope so. And we don't get into the politics on this show, but
look, there's going to be no fans at these games for a long time.
Well, hold on.
I don't think you see fans at a baseball game on July 1st when they start on July 1st.
Hold on a second, though. Perfect segue by you. Florida is experimenting with fans returning to sports. Fans are going to be returning to sports in Florida. Do you think this is more of them just flipping the bird to everybody, or is it we want to see how this happens and people are stupid enough in Florida to kind of do it?
It's Florida, man. They should just Georgia and it's Alabama, right? Georgia and Alabama should just get shovels and go along the border and just start digging and just try to separate Florida from the rest of the country. They're just a different breed down there.
WWE and AEW are going to be one of the first sets of sports and entertainment groups that can have fans in attendance. As of now, I don't believe anybody has announced whether they are or not going to do it. I saw that between the two of them, they can roughly put about, 1,500 people in their facilities, whether that's Jacksonville or the Performance Center. And in reality, the first thing that popped into my head is, you're giving Paul Heyman a live TV show with 1,500 people in attendance. It could go really well. Went really well before. But look, I think they should do it. From the wrestling perspective, they should do it because I can't watch wrestling without fans.
You don't know if you really flatten the curve until you get people in the room and see if they get sick in 2 weeks.
Unfortunately,
that's the way it goes. And unfortunately, you have to have the people that will go and do that. Me personally would not go. I would love to go golfing right now, but you can't get on a golf course because they only allow 2 people per tee time. Mm-hmm. And depending on, I don't know who I'm playing with, especially if I play by myself. I don't know if I want to play with somebody else that I don't know. So people will go because people are that bored.
Right.
I mean, I'm getting there too. I'm going nuts, but I'm not about to go, sitting with 19,000 other people to watch a game when I can watch it on TV.
Yeah, you're not going to see me I probably won't go to a live sporting event as a spectator until next year. And it has nothing to do with a vaccine and all that stuff. Look, I think at some point you have to, it sounds awful, but people, you gotta skin the cat here at some point, and you gotta kind of go do your thing. You wouldn't see me at an event though. I just don't want to.
So you're saying a year so you mean a year from today, you will go to a Phillies game, but until then, you're not going to go to any Eagles games, no Flyers or Sixers games.
I'd have to see how things trend in the fall, but as of right now, probably not. I just don't want to be around people. Simple as that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Especially in the summertime, you go to a Phillies game, those seats are close already. People are sweating. It's like, good.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Though I don't.
Every time I go to a game, a live sporting event, 9 times out of 10, I take a shower as soon as I get home because I feel gross, and that's before all this pandemic shit started.
So let's wrap this show up today. Where can people find you this week? Where can they hear your dulcet tones?
So you can hear me besides the Section 247 show. I'm also on the AWI podcast. So you can catch that before Lipinski goes on the show for next week's event. Follow me on Twitter at Michael Watkins 7. Please tell friends about the show, share the show, like the show, and thanks for listening tonight.
Yeah, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at SEC247 Show. Anywhere you find us on social media, just put in at SEC247 Show and it'll pop up. We are a Sports Talk Philly partner, sportstalkphilly.com. Go check those guys out. Some nice articles out. Kevin Dorso's doing the Flyers history of series and stuff like that. And some nice draft stuff out there, if I may say so myself. Some roundtables with Paul Bowman. Myself is included on there. A group of us are working on a 53-man roster piece. Kevin McCormick, friend of the show, just dropped the Sixers piece earlier today, and everybody's on there, always working. Follow them on Twitter as well at Sports Talk PHL. You can find us anywhere you find a podcast. Anchor.fm/SEC247 show, Podomatic, Apple, Google Play, blah, blah, blah. You can ask your Alexa to play us, and it'll play us. Sponsored by Michael's Glass Company. As always, we will catch you next week. Same time, same place, 9:05. Stay safe, cover your nose, wash your hands, that kind of thing. Don't be a jerk. If you're going to do a parade, do it down at Watkins' house.
Not even watching it.